What's up guys, welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max and well, we are taking this new 2018 Porsche Cayenne S for a drive today around this road, and then we'll take it for an Autobahn blast later on. I hope you can hear me. There's a big storm in the Netherlands today, so a lot of trees are suffering from it, and well, I hope you can hear me. So let's take a walk around the car. We actually have these 21-inch wheels, which are optional, which I think look very good. And well, let's see what they have changed, because on first glance they haven't done that much. The front is more or less the same as the previous one. We've got new light units, some new bumpers, and a huge camera in here. Hey. What else? Well, this is pretty much the same actually, and the biggest change is at the rear, because they have Panamera-fied the Cayenne with that rear light unit, with that light bar that goes all the way around, with those Porsche letters in there, quad exhaust pipes. Yeah, I really like the back of this car actually. So let's open the hood. And take a look at the engine. Or not. So all we know is it's a 2.9 V6 and it's an S. So this is the RS5 engine, 2.9 liter V6 bi-turbo, 450 horsepower. But it's really cold and windy, so let's take it for a drive. And let's check out the interior. So we've got a bit of a boring spec today, all black on the outside, apart from those wheels, which I do like, and all black on the inside, so black leather everywhere. We've got a sports chrono pack, you can see, because we have that little stopwatch there, and these handles, Martijn just called them the chunky triangles, which have been there for, well, 15 years really, since the first Cayenne came out. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, just with the rear end, the interior has been Panamera-fied, so this all really is exactly the same as it is in the Panamera, but in the Panamera it goes a bit further back, of course. We've got that huge widescreen, which is really sharp, and the touchscreen is really responsive, so yeah, I really like that. I really like the menus as well. And I also really love this, because these buttons are touchscreen on top. So when you press that and you get a little click, and these are haptic. So when you push it, you get a little haptic feedback through your finger, which is lovely. Let's turn on heated seats. We've also got heated seats and ventilated seats in the rear. So this car is pretty much fully loaded. So let's go drive it on this nice road, because this is still a large car, so I'm very curious to see how it handles itself. Let's put it in Sport Plus. I'm actually a little cold, so let me just activate my personal assistant. I'm cold. Ah, thank you. So that's a very cool feature in this new Cayenne. You've got voice control, which is not new at all, but it's sort of like a Siri style voice control. So you can just say something like, I'm hungry.
Searching for the next restaurant.
And it searches restaurants in the neighborhood, which I think is pretty cool. And well, as soon as people are getting used to using their phones and their Google Home, things like that, this will get more and more accepted, and they will work better and better. So that's really cool. And I like it better than the really robotic way you used to have to give these commands. Okay, so let's go left up here. And this car is quick. It is really quick. It doesn't feel heavy at all. I mean, the insane thing is that, you know, we've driven the BMW X6M, which we thought was incredible. This car is incredible. The way that these cars handle nowadays is just ridiculous, and they do a lot to accomplish this. They have all this trickery going on underneath with computers, with active stabilizers, with active dampers, air suspension, sticky tires, 26 different types of traction control. So they are really doing everything they can to make sure that that weight is covered up as good as they can, as well as they can. Ooh, little bit of tree here. Wow, that was a loud crackle from the exhaust as well. And I think this is not even a sports exhaust. I don't know if you can get one, but I think so. You usually can at Porsche. So for this new Cayenne, Porsche has developed a new type of brake as well. So you can get standard steel ones, which we have today. You can also get ceramics as an option. In between those is a new coating, something carbide. It sounds really boring, but it means that you get a lot less wear of your discs and brakes because of that coating. So of course, because this is a large car and you will have to brake hard sometimes with this weight of 2,000 kilos or over 2,000 kilos, those brakes are going to take a beating. So that's why they are continuously developing these brakes that are not ceramics, because they are so expensive still. Of course, there are still a lot of people who say that a Cayenne S should have a V8 and not a V6. The last one, Cayenne S, also had a V6. This one has the new 2.9 V6 bi-turbo that Porsche have developed together with Audi. And well, it's just a great engine for this car. It makes this car feel a lot more playful than a V8 would. It's quite revvy, and it gets really sharp at the top end of the rev range, and you get lovely crackles on the upshift, some burbles on the overrun sometimes. So I think this engine fits really, really well in this car. So this engine is also in the standard Cayenne with 340 horsepower. This car is 440 horsepower, as I said. And then there's the turbo with 550 horsepower. Those are the three Cayennes you can buy right now. And there will also be a couple of diesel and hybrid versions later this year. Okay, so now you know how it drives on roads like these and how it sounds over here. Let's take it to the Autobahn. Okay, so that was top speed in the 2018 Porsche Cayenne S. Top speed is 265 kilometers an hour with that 440 horsepower from the 2.9 liter V6 bi-turbo. Pretty impressive. It feels seriously quick, this car, and it's only the S version. There's also a turbo version with 550 horsepower, of course. But this is kind of the perfect car to do an Autobahn run in these circumstances with, because it's wet, it's very windy. The car has to continuously adapt to the road surface, to the wind, the air suspension, the active anti-roll bars, of course that active rear wing, that does a lot, probably. But it does feel really stable at high speeds, and it sounds pretty good as well. You get that V6 noise in here, especially if you sit in the back, then the exhaust is really quite loud. Porsche has also fitted for the first time different sizes of wheels or tires. So it has 255 in the front, 275 in the rear. So they have done a lot to make this car handle as well as possible and make it as stable as possible. Because this car weighs about 2 tons, but it's still quite quick, and of course Porsche wants you to feel like you're in a Porsche. So it can be sluggish on at high speeds or in a corner. This car, of course, was a big problem for a lot of Porsche purists who said, well, this is not what Porsche is about. But mind you, they have sold 770,000 Cayennes over the last 15 years. And it took them 53 years to sell 1 million 911s. So they must be doing something right, because they are everywhere. And with good reason, because it feels incredible, this car. Very windy. You are driving a big car, of course, so that wind has a lot of surface to hit and to make us go a bit wobbly. But I'm really impressed by how this car fights the wind, the surface, the wet, the speed. It just completely adjusts to the situation with all these different variables, and it just feels so good. We're in Sport Plus right now, so chassis is in Sport Plus with the height in low for the best or the lowest resistance, of course. It just feels so planted, and you're sitting quite high up, but still you feel like it handles itself really well in these conditions. And you know, that's just, air suspension is an optional extra, but I would definitely recommend anyone getting a Cayenne to get that air suspension. And I'm not only impressed by the handling of this car, but also by the speed, because this is a quick car with a very fast gearbox. We don't have the PDK. It's an 8-speed automatic gearbox they have called Tiptronic S, but it shifts really quickly. Kickdown is quick. And this car will do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.2 seconds. 4.9 if you have the Sports Chrono Pack with launch control, which we have, as you could see earlier. And these numbers, these acceleration times are getting so low. The new turbo Cayenne actually does 3.9 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour. That's ridiculous. That's as quick as supercars from just a couple of years ago. There we go again. 240. So let's calm down for a second. And well, of course we are planning on driving the new Cayenne Turbo, or we hope we can. But in the meantime, you can check out a review of the Porsche Panamera Turbo SE Hybrid up here. Check that out. 680 horsepower. So we're almost at the border. I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking on the little icon in the bottom right corner, and you can follow us on social media. Just search for AutoTopNL. Thanks guys. Bye.